It's time for us to talk about the Colleen Ballinger situation. The Colleen Ballinger story is a story of grooming, inappropriate behavior with children, bigotry, bullying, narcissism, toxicity, general lack of self-awareness or accountability, and just being a nasty person for the last 15 or so years. Trigger warning for all of this, I guess. By the way, my name is Stasia. Welcome back to my channel. If you enjoy commentary or at times some more lighthearted reaction videos, please consider subscribing or leaving a comment. I am kind of new to all of this still, so it means the world to me. Let's dive in. Today I want to talk about all of the things that have been going on in the last 15 years that the community has kind of glossed over. So if you're not aware, Colleen Ballinger is one of the OG YouTubers. She's been on YouTube since like 2007 or 2008. She first started out as this Miranda Sings character, and that is sort of a satirical character who was really bad at singing and bad at acting, and she was very self-absorbed and thought that she was going to become famous, and she was just kind of a goofy, I guess, funny, inappropriate character. Back then, that's all it took to get big on YouTube, is just kind of do skits making fun of people, I guess. But the longer I learn about Colleen, the more I realize that Miranda Sings is really just a caricature she made of herself, because all of the really bad, exaggerated qualities of Miranda are actually real qualities that Colleen has, and I find it very interesting. But that's besides the point. The Miranda Sings account has grown to about 10 million subscribers, and Colleen, who was behind it, also started to gain popularity. And she started her own channel, Colleen Ballinger, which also has like 8 million subscribers. In addition to that, she's also pursued a career in acting and singing, and kind of became a Z-list celebrity, I would say. She even has a Netflix special about her, and she goes on tour with her Miranda Sings like comedy bit. Needless to say, she's gained a little bit of fame as a result of her YouTube activities. I don't really understand why she has this many fans. So let's talk about that. So one of the things she's under fire for right now is her inappropriate behavior with her underage fans. Turns out that Miranda Sings, or Colleen Ballinger, even though she's like a 30-plus-year-old woman, for some reason has a huge fan base of teens and preteens and just younger people who are underage. These people go to her shows, they comment on her YouTube videos, they participate in these group chats, and apparently Colleen Ballinger has been invited to some of these group chats and actually actively participated in some of them, which fostered a very strong parasocial relationship between some of these underage fans and herself. And it turns out that these relationships went way beyond what should be acceptable. Some examples that people have shared is that she would discuss sexual topics with her fans, she would share her personal life way too much with her fans, and she was even sending some of them things in the mail, like her old clothes and things, and that resulted in one of her fans getting lingerie from her. Very inappropriate to send a child lingerie as a 30-year-old woman. Now, 3 years ago, this almost blew up in her face because one of those fans, who was 17 at the time, his name's Adam, he came out with a video revealing all this information. Actually, he didn't even go into the like sexually inappropriate stuff. He only revealed the fact that she was exploiting some of her fans, him included, for free labor. She essentially hired him to run her social media for her, literally like post on her behalf on Twitter, and never paid him for it. On top of her not paying him for it, she also kind of threw him under the bus when one of the posts that he, I guess, created didn't land well, and she received some backlash for it, and instead of owning up to it, she threw him under the bus for it and talked a bunch of shit and basically didn't take any accountability. So he came out with this video, and it had potential to really bring to light some of the exploitative behavior that Colleen was engaging in with her underage fans. But instead, it got shut down real quick. He got silenced pretty much, not only by Colleen, but by a whole crowd of her fans who immediately started putting out content just slandering him, bullying him, saying he's a liar, went on a cyberbullying campaign against this child, presumably because Colleen told them to. I'm sure it was very hard on him, and it is really not my place to tell his story. I really urge you to check out his channel and watch some of the recent videos he's made about this, because it's clearly been quite an ordeal that this adult woman put him through. The long and short of it is that she allowed a parasocial relationship to develop between them. She was overly personal and inappropriate, and then she kind of just disposed of him when he was no longer useful to her. And then when he tried to say something about it, she sent all of her rabid fans after him, who were also, for the most part, children, I think, whom she just manipulated into hating on him publicly. So that's one ugly branch of all the nasty stuff that Colleen has done in the last 3 years. But when I say there's more to this, guys, there's so much more to this. You know how they say you can tell somebody's gonna grow up to be like a serial killer as if they harm animals as kids? Well, Colleen's done that too. She's had some pretty awful things that she's done to the animals in her life, whether it was for a video she was making or just because she's a fucked up person. Trigger warning for all of this, I guess. So one of the worst things that Colleen has done towards animals, in my opinion, is the story that she tells very proudly.
For tantrums, still to this day, and I have like anger management problems. There are times where I'm just like, "Argh!" and I just feel like I need to hit something or like scream in a pillow. I used to like actually like rip things up or get angry. So I grabbed my dog for no reason, just grabbed the dog and pinched its skin and dug my nails into it. The dog yelps, turns around to protect itself, and bites me in the face. And I got stitches and went to the hospital, and they were like, "What happened?" And I was like, "The dog just bit me." And then they had to put the dog to sleep because the dog was dangerous to be around. So I murdered a dog.
It's really sad.
You're a freaking sociopath. Any normal person would have been traumatized by all of this. And the fact that you're like, "I murdered a dog." She's fucked up. For whatever reason, they allow this woman to continue to have pets, and she has a cat, and she allows her children to pretty much abuse it whenever. There are screenshots that I am kind of too disgusted to even share, but there's one that has been going around Reddit. It's this one. You could see the poor cat with a bunch of toys just dumped on top of it. It does not look pleased, and this is not okay. Here's her throwing a cat for a YouTube video.
Today I asked you on Twitter what you wanted to see, and someone said how to pet a cat. So here we go. Grab it. Stay. Don't move.
That cat does not want to be there.
Thanks.
Honestly, it's kind of hard to watch. Like, it's trying to get away. You guys know I'm a huge cat lover. I have 2 cats. I love them more than anybody in the world. And what's really disturbing, I think, is the fact that she has zero empathy for the fact that she's hurting a tiny little animal. That's what concerns me the most. Remember when I said that Miranda Sings is just a caricature of herself? Well, Miranda Sings is the most self-absorbed, narcissistic character, and she's supposed to be that way, right? That's what makes her satirical and funny. Doesn't it kind of sound like that's exactly who Colleen is? And Miranda Sings is just her way of expressing that openly without having to answer for it? As if being abusive towards the animals and grooming underage fans, manipulating them, trauma dumping on them, and using them as free labor wasn't enough, Colleen is also pretty damn racist. And I am shocked that none of her racism has ever gotten her in trouble so far.
I have to show the world this.
Oh my god.
My nail looks really good.
That's who did that? Who did that nail?
I'm not telling you.
Ballinger special. For
That's
$20 extra, I can give you a smudge on your finger. I paint your whole hand.
I cover your whole finger. So boys, I know you're jealous, but I really know you guys are doing the exact same thing as us right now.
Painting their nails.
Yeah.
And of course, lots and lots of Twitter posts. I know I'm not racist because I'm not even Asian. What does that mean? The apple doesn't fall hard at a tree. Old Asian man, probably. Friends don't lose friends. Probably an old Asian guy. She really has a thing for Asians. My uncle told me that in Chinese culture, we are animals. You're right. Then why did I see a Chinese man before? Whoever went pee-pee before me has Chinese food smells. Yikes.
Yo. Grunt.
Yikes.
Yo again.
You again.
His name. My name. Who you are? Here's where I tell you how rich I am and how I'm so much better than Eminem. Then I'll direct your attention to my chain. Then basically admit that I got no brains. Now I'm gonna tell you about I'm a pimp, and I think it's really cool when I walk with a limp. Now they're gonna beat that everything I say. Hey, now my attention is on some girl's butt. The camera pans down as I grab my nut. I'm gonna flash a grin with a grill in my mouth as he points to his tattoo that says he's from the South. These are all the things that you hear in a rap. Now cut to a shot with a girl in my lap. So the camera pans around while we do a gangster stance, then we make a slutty hoe come and give us.
Can we just not forget though that all of her fans are children? Ugh. I'm so uncomfortable with all of this. Guys, I feel like this video is getting too long already, and yet we haven't even scratched the surface. There are so many tweets, videos, deleted tweets and deleted videos, so many things coming out right now that people have been holding on to that really paint Colleen in a terrible, terrible light. There are many others that have been caught doing similar things and got in trouble for it. Colleen, however, has been going strong. It's 2023 and she's done all of the same things and she's still around. It begs the question, why? I don't want to make this about gender, but in a way I wonder if Colleen being a woman and a mother makes us a little more hesitant or apprehensive to believe these things about her or to admit these things about her. Colleen has been getting away with this stuff for far too long. I hope that we can finally see through the pretty face, see through the mom vlogging, and see her for who she really is. And I don't think parasocial relationships are the problem. I think the problem is uncontrolled parasocial relationships with predators. The thing is, you could have a perfectly safe parasocial relationship with a creator if that creator takes responsible steps in making sure that A, they're not engaging privately with underage people, and B, they're not making inappropriate statements to them. It kind of all falls on the creators themselves to police themselves, and while most people are probably responsible and mature enough to do that, a lot aren't. Colleen is definitely not mature, and right now, when all of this is coming out, what is she doing? She hasn't issued an apology. She hasn't acknowledged any of this. She is actually on tour right now doing her Miranda Sings comedy tour, and she's continuing it as if nothing's happening. People are waiting for her to address this, and she hasn't, and I suspect that she won't, Because how do you address something like this without just fucking canceling yourself? That's the only thing she could do that would make it right. I didn't even touch upon that in this video, but Colleen is not the only one in her family who's a creator and not the only one who has these fans and these weird parasocial relationships with them. Her sister and her brother and his wife sort of followed suit in her steps when she became internet famous and started their own YouTube channels, and through her also gained some popularity. And guess what? Those people are just as freaking problematic, but that's probably a topic for a different video. In fact, if you want me to make a video about that, please let me know, because that'll probably be fun. The tides have shifted. A lot more people are seeing all of her problematic behavior compared to 3 years ago when it seems nobody was paying attention. So I'm really glad that this is being talked about. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what your thoughts are on Colleen and this whole situation. What do you think should happen? Do you think she should apologize and just admit to doing all of this? Do you think she should just stop making content? I mean, this is her life's work, so I don't really see how stopping it entirely is feasible for her. I'm not really sure what the options are, honestly. I think she needs to take a good long break and take a good long look at herself and really own up to all of this and really make it right with the people that she's hurt. Anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching. These deep dives are not my usual type of content, but I do enjoy making them. So please let me know if you liked this video. I can't wait to hear your thoughts. Comment down below. I love you, and I'll see you in the next video.